The Mediterranean Sea, called by many the Great Sea, and its included countries, is full of the place where religions, economics, and political systems met, clashed, influenced, and absorbed one another. We learned its principal importance for transportation and substance, its dynamic role in the use and fall of empires, and how much of these conflicts has contributed to our beginning culture and being. Yes, just as different the ports we visited were, so was the sea. It was full of nights of comfort and flat seas, to nights of waves 6 meters, with panic nights of discomfort. It all begins in Barcelona, with lively culture and inviting outdoor spaces. Preserves a rich history, the Gothic quarter opens part of the city, the Roman wall, the cathedral, embark a lot of what Barcelona has to offer. Fort Bell, and the Arc of Triumph. These were just by the famous artist Antonio Gaudio. Marseille, the old port. For protection, the erection of the forts of St. Jean and St. Nicholas at the entrance of the harbor. On the hill overlooking this wonderful city is the Notre Dame de la Garde, the beacon of faith and testimony of French history. The city is full of Monte Carlo, beautiful, beautiful city. The place where Formula One racing happens with the cars through the city. Beautiful casino. The residence of where the actress Grace Kelly became the princess when she married Rainier III. We visited the resident palace, saw the changing of the guards. What a luxurious harbor, showing all the beautiful yachts and the sculpture of Grace. Pat had a lot of fun here. Florence, where the Tower Pizza is known as the cradle of Renaissance and the center of culinary delights and outstanding wines. Throughout this emerald green countryside, dotted with trees, endless delights unfold. Florence, a living museum of art. The old fort, its roar. Pat tried to push the tower back up. It's too hard. Baptism, birth begins there. And left and heading for Rome. Rome, the city of cities. For centuries, she ruled Europe, building a vast empire from the power of emperors. More than 2,500 years of history live in the city streets. To give you an idea, in the United States, we have maybe 500. There are so many ancient structures to recall these heady days, including the Colosseum, the Vatican, St. Peter's Square, the Fountain of Trevi. The walls of protection of Rome, the Arch of Triumph, the four basilicas, St. Mary's Major, St. Peter's, St. Paul, St. Lateran. Yes, it's a beautiful city, but you can't see Rome in one day. Definitely put more than one day aside. There is so much history here. Naples boasts a long history of a stunning seaside city. The city has long been a major city of Italian culture and was a seat of power for 500 years. So great was its sway that it lured the region's finest architects and artists. We tried to visit as many as we could. The ones that we did were overwhelming. Narrow streets, full of cobblestone, very difficult walking. Famous volcano, and the clock. Naples has a lot to offer. Maybe the next time Franny will be here to show us around. Have a great day. Fantastic trip. Viking honored our 63 years in marriage with champagne and a special dessert. It was a great evening. Enjoyed it very much. With the bad seas, 6 meters, the harbor master would not let us go into the brisket, B-U-B-R-O-G-N-I-K. Corfu, Greece, has a rich history shaped by conquerors and by a royalty seeking tranquility. Corfu's old town and fortress, fashioned by the once parallel Venetian Republic, is a World Heritage Site. Its narrow streets lead to one of Europe's largest public squares and a lovely promenade once exclusively reserved for the local aristocrats. There's a monastery there called the Valcheria at monastery. It was established in the 16th century. It served as a spiritual center for the Orthodox Christians. The monastery is small, but it houses valuable religious artifacts and manuscripts. I would strongly recommend visiting Corfu. Split, one of the oldest city on the Adrian Sea. It was built in the 4th century as a fortress and residence. A palace was erected there for the Roman Emperor Diocletian as a retirement haven. What is left of this sprawling home has been seamlessly incorporated into the modern Split. The ancient palace was built as his residence, but it also, half of the residence was used as a military garrison. The Cathedral of St. Dominus, as is known in Split, is one of Split's most iconic and important landmarks. As a functioning cathedral with regular masses, it still serves as the center of the city's spiritual life. The bell tower of the cathedral is the tallest, defying the skyline. You can see it from around. Diocletian, as an enemy of Christian and one of the worst persecutors of Christianity among all Roman empires. His reputation suffered after Christianity became the dominant religion in Europe. Venice, a wondrous patchwork of graceful piazzas, canals, footbridges, Gothic splendor. This impossibly romantic place is made dreamier still by a serenade gondola ride, which Pat and I did. It was wonderful. To view its riches up close, we did an 8-hour walking, but it was probably one of the best tours that we had out of the 12. All things Venetian begin in St. Mark's Square, where its elegant bell tower rings over the rooftops, and the basilica seem to preside over all. Beyond St. Mark's and away from the crowd, Venice is a hushed and fascinating city to explore, and medieval echoes mark your every step. The problem is, it's what I would call a dying city, because there are less and less residents living there and more tourists visiting it. And it's very crowded, and we're going to see what happens. Some of the sites along the way was the San Rocco Museum, which had beautiful paintings. And of course, the canal, where we did a gondola ride on, and it went under the Kissing Bridge. We're back on the ship now, getting ready to have our last night. We depart for Santa Barbara tomorrow. We had such a wonderful time with Carleen and Steve. They made the cruise so whole. We had great dinners together every night. Yes, it's a long trip, 14 or 13 days, but we totally enjoyed it. We're exhausted, did a lot of walking, but we would recommend the cruise to everybody. Just make sure you're in shape. Thank you. Thank you.